All right. So thanks for joining in. Thanks for taking out the time. So let's begin. I mean, just to start with, I'll give you a quick background. So I'm the founder and CEO of JustCall. It's a cloud phone system, a modern cloud phone system for sales and support teams that they can use to not only make phone calls and receive phone calls and text, but they can also automate a lot of processes around voice and SMS. Uh, the kind of playbook that we have used to build our sales stack and sales process in last 5 years, and the kind of playbook we have been telling our folks who are using JustCall, almost 6,000 plus companies in the world. From that whole learning, I'm here in front of you to share some of the learnings that can sort of help you start improving your sales process and probably get more clarity around how you can set up your whole sales stack in a way, right? So let's start with like what's happening in general when you talk about sales. Normally, what happens we have seen is that salespeople normally they don't sell with context. They just follow a funnel. Bam, bam. They just start hitting the activities they're required to do, and without context, they just go on selling their stuff. But I think in the modern time, that's really not going to work because in the modern times, the customers have gone more smarter. So we definitely have to change the way we sell. And the most important change there is that let's keep customer as a part of the whole play. Normally what happens in the sales funnel sort of expectations, like you normally think like from A to B, I'll just reach in one single line. I'll start selling, the person going to buy it and can become like an evangelist for my product immediately. But that never happens. The funnel has so many things in between it. Like normally people lose the context, and the ideal situation never happens where it's a simple A to B prospect to evangelist sort of situation that happening. So that's where the modern sales should work more like a flywheel rather than a funnel. By flywheel, I mean you should keep customer in the center of the whole thinking process. How you progressing with your sales process. You should just always be thinking about the customer. Is customer getting the context right? Is your salesperson getting the context right? Are you connecting your customer at the right time when they're ready to buy? Or are you making sure that the customer is not getting pissed by all the 10, 15 calls that you're making at the wrong times to the customer? So over a period of time, we have figured out that we can put this whole playbook and call it a 4F sort of playbook that we call internally. So it's a four Fs. We call it foundation, flow, fuel, feedback. So if you can just start thinking about it and start breaking your both sales tech stack implementation and also your sales process, how you approach your sales process, I think it'll make things super easy and more clear for your team to progress. So let's jump onto like each of these, like foundation, flow, fuel, and feedback. Let's jump into these four one by one to understand these better. So what I mean by foundation? So foundation is basically the infrastructure layer. This is the most basic thing that you need to get started with your sales process. And in this foundation, you need two things very importantly. One is a CRM for sure, and second one is a cloud telephony solution for your customer communication. And you want to make sure that these two products, these two tools that you're using, they should be connected among each other really, between each other really strongly. So when you're in the market looking for a phone system or a CRM, make sure that both these tools connect, integrate very strongly and deeply and natively with each other, because only then you'll be able to make most of the integration, the benefits of integration that come with it. So make sure that when you're in the market, always go for a phone system which is providing you native integrations, deep integrations with the CRM that you're using. So that will make sure that you have a strong foundation and you can easily scale your early sales team only by using these two tools in a way. Now come to the flow creation. This is a very important part of the whole journey of a setting up your sales stack, sales process. So what do you mean by flow? So flow is nothing but how well you can design your communication system, your processes, your cadence, so that your customer is not getting pissed first. Second, you're always reaching to the customer at the right time. And how to do that? So you can basically, once you combine your CRM with a tool which is providing you these workflow automations around call, SMS, chat, email, you can use the context that you're getting from your CRM and can start designing your workflow around it. To give you an example, let's say you're a real estate agent and you're selling someone a very amazing apartment in Pasadena. Just after a phone call, after the phone call ends, and you think that this person is very interested in this property, you can set some sort of disposition code after this phone call. Many of the good phone systems, including JustCall, offer this functionality where you can set disposition code, or you can set different workflows after the phone call. So you can trigger some sort of, let's say, thank you email, thank you SMS, along with a PDF file about that property, mentioning the rates and whatever information you want to share. So that sort of communication, rightly timed, well sort of full of context, and the kind of experience that a customer will be getting, he or she will be feeling that that person is very important. So that's very important, like how you design your whole workflows, how you time those workflows, how you time those communications, those reaching out to the customers at the right time. So that's very important. So make sure when you're in the market, when you're setting up some sort of workflow, some sort of process around your different communication channels, ensure that that product, that tool is offering you all the possible ways you can design your workflows, your processes in the most flexible manner, the way you want, right? So that's a very important thing to look for when you're setting up a tech stack for your sales process. Now coming to fueling the sales engine. Now that you have a very strong base based on a very good CRM which integrates really well with the phone system, you also have some sort of process going. You making a phone call. If the call goes good, you set some disposition code and something happens, some sort of trigger happens, some sort of SMS goes out, or some sort of coupon goes out. So you have this small engine picking up, working pretty well for you. You have like 4-5 sales people right now. The engine is working really well. Sales people are always getting the right context before the phone calls because of the CRM that they're using. They have some of the manual work that they used to do before phone calls and after phone calls or SMS. They're pretty much automated because of the flow part that we covered in the last slide. So now it's time you press the gas, you put fuel in this sales engine. And how can you do that? The easiest way to do it, double down on things which are working well for you. So if your sales people are making phone calls, how can you make them make more phone calls? Normally, if you look at a lot of research data published online, normally it takes about 18 dials to connect with a single buyer. And another important thing is that if you're calling a lead within 5 minutes, the chances of sort of qualification and conversion sort of increases like big time, like 100x. It sort of goes up by that. So now, what can we use for that? Now, how can we fuel the sales engine? This is the right time. You go to market, you go into the market and start looking for an auto dialer, predictive dialer, tool which can do auto logging of your phone calls at scale. So we're looking to do same thing which we were doing in last 2 steps, but at scale, at fast pace. We don't want your salespeople to waste a lot of time in doing all the manual work, pre-call, after phone call. We don't want your salespeople to waste even a single second waiting for a phone call to ring and then wait for 5 seconds for someone to pick. Use an auto dialer, use a predictive dialer, and just start talking to people right away whenever they get connected, and do more calls every day. So this is something you should. So this is something you should definitely consider once you have a proper foundation set and also a workflow process in place. So now it's time to put sort of gas on the pedal and just go fast. So products like JustCall offer things like auto dialer, predictive dialer. We can just upload a list of contacts, and the dialer will do the job of making phone calls, dialing the calls. Your people, your sales people just have to talk. They don't have to dial. They don't have to wait for people to pick your call. They don't have to wait for the voicemail box to speak out the voicemail messages. You can just click a button and drop a voicemail. So now you have also started to scale things. So you have a very good base. You have a workflow going for you, and you also have scaled that really well. Now comes a very important part of the whole 4F play, which is feedback. Continuously improve things that you're doing right now. Out of your, let's say you have 20 salespeople now doing 100 calls each every day. Of these 20 people, there are 2 salespeople who are just killing it really, really well. So you now have to figure out like what exactly they're doing right. So you need some sort of conversational intelligence now that you have like thousands of calls happening on a monthly basis. Now you need a conversational AI to pick what's working and what's not working, right? To pick in what sort of calls buyer sentiments went south, in what calls the buyer sentiments went up, for what exact words or for exact moments things changed in terms of buyer sentiment, everything like that. So now it's a good time. So if your team is doing more than 1,000 calls or even less, like 500 calls a month, it's high time you go to market and start looking for something like a conversational intelligence product, which can give you a complete idea about how your calls are going, so that you can go back into your system with the feedback, make the improvements, tell people who are not doing good job, show them, share the right clips of the phone calls of the best performing salespeople, and show them and train them and coach them so that they can start performing the way the top salespeople are doing, right? So basically you're optimizing and solving for mentoring at scale. So it's a very good time. You start mentoring, you start coaching people, so that your sales efficiency sort of goes up, even on the higher side, right? So it's very easy to. So this is a simple metrics where you can see where you are in this journey. So more the right side, we sort of go in terms of sort of stack. You need a CRM, you need a good cloud telephony system, you need a good workflow system, and you need a good conversational intelligence system to complete your whole sales stack. So you can easily visualize like where you are right now. You can always pick a product which offers most of the things in single place, so that your salespeople don't have to spend a lot of time in learning new products. Rather, they can just keep using a single product along with the CRM and can start killing at sales. So that's pretty much from my side on our learnings of helping tens of thousands of sales agents. If you are looking for a similar system to set up a good sales process in your company, I think JustCall will be a good fit. Would love to sort of help you set up a demo. If you want, you can always drop me an email, or you can drop us an email at s@justcall.io. Enjoy the rest of the event. Thanks a lot.